choose your room today, not because I'm strong, I just didn't know what else to do. Your shoes are still by the door, like you might walk in, even though I know you won't. Not tonight, maybe never. If you see me again, I won't pretend I tried hard, I didn't. I should've held you when you shook, should've stayed when you cried, but I didn't. And now you're out there trying to stay alive because of mistakes I made. They say you sleep behind the grocery store, wrapped in a blanket someone threw away. I think about that every time I eat dinner, and I hate myself a little more when I don't lose my appetite. You shouldn't have the loneliness from me. If you see me again, I won't pretend I tried hard, I didn't. I should've had you when you should've stayed when you cried, but I didn't. And now you're out there trying to stay alive because of mistakes I made. Keep replaying the nights. I told you I was busy, I wasn't. I just didn't want to deal with anything. And now I'd give anything just to hear you knock on the door one more time. If you see me again, I won't ask for forgiveness. You don't owe me that. I just want you to know I should have been your father, not a man who ran away. But please come on, wherever you are tonight. I'm sorry. I woke up shaking, calling your name into the dark, and the silence answered me like it had been waiting. Your jacket still hangs on the chair you hated, and I keep touching it like it could bring you back. I replay the moment you closed the door without a word. Your eyes were empty and I pretended not to see it. I thought love was something we could fix with time, but the truth hit me slow. You believed it long before your body walked away. Every room feels smaller when you're the one who's left behind. Every mirror shows a version of me you wouldn't recognize. I'm holding my chest like it's breaking apart from the inside. There's no warning before a heart falls into pieces. I learned too late that begging someone to stay only teaches you how fragile you've become. You've become no fight, no final words, just a man on the floor trying to breathe in a house that feels like a grave. searched for your reasons in the ashes of our days. Maybe I pushed too hard, maybe I didn't fight enough. I'll never know, and that's the part that kills me. You walked towards your freedom, and I was left to erect the ruins you didn't look back at. There are nights I feel my ribs closing in, like my body refuses to carry this story anymore. But pain doesn't disappear just because we outgrow it. Sometimes it stays to remind us who we were when everything fell apart without a warning. I'm holding my chest like it's breaking apart from the inside. No cure, no promise, just the truth I can't escape. You made leaving look easy, and I'm still learning how to stand up to the fall. No hero, no redemption, just a man in the room you left behind, trying not to disappear with the memories. Laugh in the kitchen every morning, bare feet on the cold floor calling my name. Then the nights got longer than your reasons, and I watched you slip into a world I couldn't tame. I tried to tell you those people weren't your friends, but you said they made the pain feel small. I saw you falling faster than my warnings, and I couldn't reach you at all. Sister, I couldn't save. You were fighting storms I never saw. You ran the hands of promised comfort, but they only dragged you deeper down. Now I'm standing here with your memories, trying to live with what I lost. I found your jacket by the back door last winter, still carrying the smell of smoke and fear. You said you quit tomorrow like you meant it, but tomorrow never found you here. And when the calls stopped coming from your number, I knew the truth before they said your name. You were trapped inside a lie they sold you, and I couldn't pull you from the flames. Sister, I couldn't save. You were fighting storms I never saw. You ran the hands that promised comfort, but they only dragged you deeper down. Now I'm standing here with your memories, trying to live with what I lost. Someone out there feels the same hunger. Please don't trust the ones who take more than they give. Tell someone before the night gets darker, you deserve a just a little. Sister, I couldn't save. Your story stays with every breath I take. I'll carry your name so no one forgets you, and I want the world before it breaks them too. Though the pain still cuts like yesterday, I'm learning to walk through the way. I wake up hearing the news like a punch to the chest, realizing my homeland keeps sinking deeper into its own lies. They train our pockets to ignite battles oceans away, leaving the rest of us to carry debts we never created. I watch leaders brag about honor while families here struggle to eat, pretending their warfare is heroism instead of reckless destruction. My voice cracks every time I try to explain where I come from, because the world already knows the damage our flag has caused. I feel responsible for wounds carved by hands I never trusted, yet somehow I'm tied to the consequences of their ambition. Shame burns through me every time I face the truth of our actions, and anger follows when I see how easily they hide the suffering. Regret sits heavy in my chest, forever defending the narrative, while guilt reminds me that silence made me part of the fallout. I hear friends whisper about leaving because hope runs thin here, watching our future collapse under presidents who worship conflict. Nothing feels noble about a nation that speaks of peace while light infuses, and I'm left trying to explain why I once believed their promises. I never thought loyalty could feel like a chain around my throat, forcing me to pretend that cruelty counts as strength. Won't carry pride built on fear, denial, and the suffering of strangers, because honoring truth matters more than shielding a broken empire. Anger pushes me to confront the lies we normalized for decades. Shame forces me to admit my part in ignoring the warning signs. Regret drives me to abandon the illusion of national innocence, and guilt becomes the reason I refuse to defend this place again.
You come back to me in dreams that feel too real to escape. I wake up gripping the sheets like someone drowning in his own choices. Your voice echoes in the quiet corners of this house I never made into a home. I left you because I thought I was suffocating, but the truth is I just didn't know how to be loved without ruining it. I have crossed highways, airports and winter roads, trying to outrun what I destroyed. I built a life that looks stable from the outside, yet every room feels borrowed, yet in feel borrowed, like I'm living in someone else's skin. You were the one steady place I ever had, and I told me never you learn, yet do never really know how to piss. I blame the world for my emptiness, when the real damage was the silence I left in your head. You want sleep with memories I can't undo. You stand there with the calm I never match, and I finally see how cruel it was to make you carry my chaos. I lost the one person who believed I could be better, and now I live with the truth. You were right about me all along. The marriages after you were built on fear, not hope. They watched me fall apart over a woman I pretended was gone. I kept your ring in a box at the back of the closet, and every time I move apartments I'd find you where I try to hide you. No one deserves to compete with the ghost I created myself. If we ever sat across from one another again, I'd tell you that the years have been far harsher than I ever admitted. Therapy explained what your patience tried to save, and I finally understand why your hands trembled the day I walked out. You weren't afraid of being alone, you weren't afraid of what I was becoming. You haunt my sleep with the life I threw away. You show me the version of myself you fought for until it broke you. I spent years pretending I could rebuild without you, and now I know the truth. I didn't lose you to fate or time, I lost you cause I never learned how to stay. Wherever you are, I hope my absence healed more than my presence ever did. And if the night ever feels heavy for you, I hope you never think of me, because I'm the reason your story had to start over alone.
In the shadows of a city that never looked at me. Every night I walked home, holding my breath, because the world's too loud for my cracked heart, and too empty for my soul that kept trying to survive. Between the traveling streetlights, I learned that people only pass by, even when I'm collapsing right in front of them. I reach my hand out, but all I touch is air that hardens like a wall. Inside my chest, I'm building a room no one can understand, a place where I quiet my voice so no one feels bothered. I live inside fractures that refuse to heal, like a gravestone carved with my own name. I scream through electric rain and frozen winds, but the world keeps moving as if I was never here. I try to blend in, but the unfamiliar faces remind me I'm only a small dot in a sky full of dying stars. In America, in Europe, where everyone talks about freedom, I learn what it means to disappear when you're so free that no one holds on to you anymore. Mirror stares at me like a judge without mercy, whispering but every second stretches into a growing distance. Inside my chest, I'm built in a room no one can understand. A place where I quiet my voice so no one feels bothered. I live inside fractures that refuse to heal, like a gravestone carved with my own name. I scream through electric rain, frozen winds, but the world keeps it as if I was never here. I walk alone beneath a static sky, carrying stories that never deserve to be heard. Sometimes I ask my own shadow if I'm just a small mistake, forced to keep breathing. Night breeze crawls like a cold hand, touching my bones and reminding me if I stop walking, so let the world forget my face before I lose the will to remember myself. I'm only an echo among thousands of voices, cracked, exhausted, swallowed by a light I never understood. If tonight I break apart in silence, let this static sky be the final witness that I once tried not to disappear.